in the middle of the fourth quarter, I know the game went to overtime. A lot happened after that, but the middle of the fourth quarter, around the 6-minute mark, there's the sub where Ja and Cedric come out. They come back in about 2 minutes of game time. When that sub is happening, is the rationale there more rest, or is it more they're monitoring their workload at that point?
So if I remember correctly, they came out at maybe 6:30 left.
6:16.
6:16 and came back around 4:30. So yeah, less than 2-minute break. Yeah, both guys went heavily over the recommendations today because we felt like this was a very important game for us, and obviously in the overtime. And there's always a voice inside my head that's asking, like, is this the right play to make? And you got to make that call over there. And we felt like both players benefited from that short break. We as a team, not sure we benefited from that at that moment, but it also led to then that we had two guys who were relatively fresh going into the last few minutes.
When you're in overtime and there's 3 seconds, 1.7 seconds left in the game, you need a three-pointer. Just curious, you went with your regular guys. Why wasn't Cam Spencer, for example, probably been your best three-point shooter? Why didn't you go to him as one of your 5 players on the floor in that moment?
We felt we had 5 shooters on the court and a very good passer in Santi Aldama to make the inbounds pass, and thought that would give us the best chance to win the game.
On the final possession for Philadelphia, the three-pointer, do you feel like the team defended that as instructed and sort of forced them into what you wanted?
We went through that. We had a foul to give over in the timeout. That was one of the things we wanted. We wanted if presented with the opportunity. But we were also very cognizant of the fact that they have a couple of players that are very good, that if you foul in the wrong point with the pickup, that you're going to end up with a free throw right there, or send the game to the free throw line. So those are the end game situations. I thought overall we played a very, very good game. Unfortunately, ball didn't bounce to us in the end. Yes.
I guess when you play a team like this, because their lineup distributions are drastically different over the course of the season with how you do yours, how much of this for you is weighing, maybe a feel part of it where you play your guys a little bit more, or you just stick to kind of what you do? I expect because, there were probably just a few different stretches over the game where they would play their starters probably longer stretches and would kind of go on runs. Just what is your making of that over the course of a game in terms of just playing your guys, the recommended minutes before the game as opposed to the feel of the course of the game?
I think we've had this discussion before this season already. There's always an element of planning and always an element of feel. And you also don't want to empty out the bank account with just because that you feel like we got to do. Of course, everybody wants to do everything they can to win the game, but you also don't want to take any long-term risks. And that balance is always very hard to strike. It's one game out of 82, and must maintain perspective always. And it's very hard in that situation because even I have emotions, So you try to make the best in those situations, and you try to balance that, what's best in the short term and what's best in the long term. Thank you.